Kamaru Usman's got a big plan. He's going to win the welterweight belt. He's going to vacate. He's going to fight for the 85-pound belt. He's going to win, and he's going to retire. All right. Now, I don't know the level of seriousness that Kamaru is speaking to. Kamaru got asked a question. The camera's going. This was his answer. But let's just stay on it for a moment. Kamaru Usman wants to win the welterweight belt. Let me stop you right there. He has. I watched him do it. Be similar if Kamaru Usman said he was going to win the Ultimate Fighter, the toughest tournament in sport. I would really respect that. I would tune in for that season, but he already has. Okay, so he wants to win the welterweight belt. The reason I'm dwelling on this, I love and I have always loved. Not I like. If I liked it, I would tell you I like it. I love the idea of Kamaru Usman at 185 pounds. And if that really is what he wants to do, and Kamaru Usman's drive is very unmatched. There's a young man that has had a level of success. Before you ever saw him, before he was ever on TV, he was a national champion. He was an aspiring Olympian. I mean, I could stop you right there. That's your dad, that's your grandpa. You're going to be very impressed. You're going to be proud of him. You're going to find a way to mention that to the other kids. He was a national champion and an aspiring Olympian. We could stop right there, but it doesn't stop right there. It only begins. He then wins the Ultimate Fighter, which truly is the toughest tournament in all sports. I was told that by my uncle, who's an Olympic gold medalist. Season 17 of the Ultimate Fighter, I participated opposite Jon Jones. I explained this to my Uncle Mel, and he told me the only thing in sport that you could compare the Ultimate Fighter to is Olympic Village, where you live with the athletes, you sleep next to the competition, you get in transportation with your opponents, go to the venue, and then everything goes in reverse. So then Kamaru Usman becomes the welterweight king, and he goes so far, the only person you could ever argue against George St. Pierre. I maintain you would lose the argument, but you could argue, without losing credibility, the only person is Kamaru Usman. He might be the greatest welterweight of all time. If he's not, he's number 2. That's a pretty big achievement. Now, let's go to 185. And let's see why I'm stuck on this. Remember that national championship I told you about? Remember that Olympic candidacy I told you about? That was at 185 pounds. The exact weight class was 184.6. They did it in kilograms back then. I believe that converted to 85 kilograms. My point is, that was Kamaru's weight class. He should have been 185 the entire time. And the discipline that he had to go through, this is a grown man. This is 23 years old. He's competing at 184.6 pounds. He has to pull 15 pounds off to compete in the world of MMA. I mean, that's really an incredible level of discipline amongst everything else that you might know about Kamaru Usman. Now, stay with me. Kamaru Usman gets a phone call roughly 2 years ago, as a matter of fact. About 2 years ago today. As a matter of fact, I'm within a week of that being a literal statement. They're going to fly him out to Fight Island, and he's going to fight the boogeyman. He's going to fight Khamzat Chimaev. And the only reason Kamaru Usman is even offered this fight is because nobody else would do it. So they put something special on it. They don't add to the money. They make it a number 1 contenders match. Kamaru, if you do this fight, and I believe he had 8 days notice. If you do this fight and you beat him, you fight for the world championship at 185. So you can't just tell me, hey, Kamaru can't go with these guys or Kamaru's not big enough. You lose any ability to do that when you understand that he's already done it against what turned out to be the greatest middleweight alive. So when Kamaru goes and fights Chimaev, there was a weird few minutes of that fight where you could see that Kamaru Usman did not believe in Kamaru Usman. And I don't know that you could find 3 minutes combined of Kamaru's entire career where he wasn't confident he could beat the guy in front of him. But there was a bit of a learning curve. There was a little bit of a feeling out process where Kamaru gained confidence in the fight, and ultimately he ran out of time. Officially, if you say that Chimaev beat him, you would win the Jeopardy question. But there are times, did you lose or were you behind when time ran out? So this ends up being, to remind you guys, a split decision. One licensed judge thought Kamaru had won the fight. Okay. We don't hear from Kamaru again. I mean, he goes quiet for a while. Kamaru doesn't get back in the ring for a meaningful amount of time. Everybody is doting praise on him and so wildly impressed. Chimaev, it turns out, broke his hand somewhere within the fight. So then, even though he had got the golden ticket of #1 contendership, he wasn't able to cash that in. Adesanya's stuck in Australia with something. Insert Dricus du Plessis. But that opportunity in the Duplessis era wouldn't have even existed if not for the broken hand and whatever in the heck Izzy was dealing with in Australia. Kind of a cool part of the story, right, guys? So, Chimaev's hand heals. Chimaev gets in there, and he is absolutely dominant. He is not just the champion. He is the champion by a country mile. He is 5 rounds better than the next best thing. As long as Kamaru Usman's not in the bracket. So when Usman says it, and see, I feel I could get Kamaru any fight at 185. Any fight he wanted, I could bring it to you guys, and we could kickstart a campaign any way that you want to do it. You go to Jared Cannonier, that's somewhere in the top 10. You go to Sean Strickland, who Kamaru's already fought. You could go to Paulo Costa, which would be amazing. You go to Dricus du Plessis is going to fight Kamaru Usman. You guys would go crazy for that. I feel that you could match him up any way you want. The problem at 170, and it'll never be spoken. As a matter of fact, if anyone was to speak on it, they would deny the reality, the existence of the concept that an older guy who's already had a chance isn't going to get that chance. We like parity. We're not against giving you an opportunity, but we've given you the opportunity. We got this younger guy. He's very good. He's on a good little streak, and he hasn't been given up there to the opportunity. That's a real thing. Whether the decision makers on the second floor of the UFC recognize it or not, they're still human beings. It's a very real thing. I don't know how confident I am that Kamaru Usman can get to a title shot at 170 pounds. I have complete confidence that Kamaru Usman could win a world championship at 170 pounds. I know he can beat everybody, whether he did or not. I know that he could, but at 185, I just feel that we could open the opportunities. So if Kamaru's got a goal to be the 70-pound champion, the 85-pound champion, all before he retires, in my opinion, mission half accomplished. If Kamaru's thinking of 185 at all, nudge him, guys, nudge him. Push him over the ledge. Kamaru Usman at 185. Kamaru Usman opposite Dricus du Plessis. Can you picture that? Kamaru Usman opposite Fluffy Hernandez. Kamaru Usman versus RDR. Kamaru Usman in a rematch with Khamzat Chimaev. Those ideas all work. Those are the ideas that I want. I want Kamaru Usman at 185. How about you?